Previously on the interview with Joe
You're trying to make a wedding for $10,000.
But he doesn't have extra money to just throw in the garbage. When I say $10,000, I don't mean $10,000 the wedding night. For most of us, why do we need invitations? I mean,
Let's continue hearing about the campaign. So you started the campaign, you challenged yourself. Now you've got thousands of people following you. The pressure is on. Number one, I have a question to you. Did this come about because you simply couldn't afford it, or because you said, this is it? There must be a new way for people like me going into this parsha.
it's a good question. And before I answer you that, I want to define what afford it means. What does it mean I can or I can't afford it? Let's say I'm earning enough money and from my income, I can afford to spend $100,000 for a chasana. Does that mean I can afford it? Number one question is, do I have enough passive income already that if I want, I should be able to retire now? And if I don't, then I can't afford it. And if I can afford it, the second question is it important or is it not important? Let's say you're a billionaire. Would you take $1 million, just flush it down the toilet for no good reason? Maybe you can find a better place where to allocate this money. So the question is not about being able to afford it. The question is if it makes sense altogether to spend on the things that most people spend. And the only reason they spend on that is because everybody else is doing it. And somebody is mentioning now in the chat, actually, that's your father, Yashi.
Oh.
So I think we should give a big shout out.
Big shout out to Tati.
I'm sure your father is very proud to join your meeting here.
My father's been talking about this subject for many, many, many years before the whole Takunas thing started. He always had his own ideas. Unfortunately, his mechutunim didn't always agree with him, but he always had this idea of, exactly like you say, just because you can afford it doesn't mean you have to spend it. Why should you invite 1,000 people to eat chicken in a basement on McDonald Avenue?
And it's an interesting thing you talk about mechutunim. You know how many people tell me the same thing, that I would make the wedding in my dining room, but my mechutun. And then the funny thing is, you go to the mechutun, he says the same thing. I would make the wedding in the dining room, but my mechutun. I just spoke to your mechutun, he says the same thing. So it boils down to a lack of communication with a lot of people. I just got an interesting message from somebody like last week. He sent me a copy of an article in Hamodia from 1988. And this person is basically describing in the article what happens when people make chasanas and they can't afford, they can't afford the chasana, they can't afford all these expensive things. And back then it was the norm, a 10-man band, and it was even more crazy than today. I don't know how much you remember from them, but it was terrible. And then he says, and if the mechutun gets sick before the chasana, within minutes that tzula is going to be there. If he needs an emergency surgery, we have a few organizations that are going to make sure he gets the best doctors. And if he really doesn't have a penny to his name and is drowning in debt, a lot of organizations are going to come and help them. And he goes on and describing how terrible it is. And then this person sends me a message that after every shidduch, my mother used to print this out and send a copy to the mechutun and tell him, this is how I want my chasana to be. I don't want anybody to get sick. I only want to buy what I really want, what we really decide we need, and be on a minimum budget. This is how she sets the tone for that. So it's a good introduction about mechutunim.